Tua Tagovailoa, it was picked 5th last year. There were some question marks going into that. The Miami Dolphins, based on a trade, have the 3rd pick in the upcoming draft here. Should they be thinking quarterback when they get there?
No, they should be thinking really good offensive lineman or really special wide receiver. There'll be 2 of them available in your top 5 picks. Listen, Tua's going to be fine. He will be absolutely fine. I know everyone's like, man, Tua stunk and whatnot. Did the Miami defense show up yesterday? No. So we can put as much yesterday on them as Tua. Here's the thing. First of all, poor offensive line. We've talked about that with the Dolphins. And relatively poor skill players. And a scheme that's poor. Those 3 things with a young quarterback, you're going to struggle. Okay, so they need to upgrade the offensive line still. They need to get better skill players. They need to get better wide receiver weapons on the outside, top to bottom. And then they need a scheme that's going to fit his skill set more on a consistent basis. He needs to be in something that the Saints run or something similar to what the Saints run with Drew Brees. And the last thing I'd say is this. 2 years ago and last year, the Dolphins hit on a bunch of defensive draft picks and defensive free agents. They need to do the same thing this offseason for offensive players. If they hit on those offensive players in addition to the draft and free agency, Tua will be just fine next year. No need to panic in Miami.
Rex, you called the drafting of Tua the biggest risk in draft history. Are you sticking with it, or are you on Dan's side?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think it's the biggest risk. But there's no way they're going to take a quarterback now. So to me, look, Dan makes a great point. Build this team the way, not just schematically, but the way the Saints built their football team. Why? Because you have a small pocket quarterback who's accurate. So to me, that's what you do. You're going to draft, I'm going to tell you, fans, this is what's going to happen. All right? They're going to take the tackle from Oregon with the 3rd overall pick. Put him in there for the next 10 years. That's how you build him. You got to protect a pocket passer, and this guy's accurate. And yes, Dan's right. Build that scheme around him, but don't forget, build that football team the way the Saints do.
All right, so they've got decisions to make. RC used the term in a tweet yesterday, arm arrogance, to describe what he was seeing from Josh Allen. What does that mean?
It means that you are so confident in your ability that you don't think there's anyone or anything that can stop you. You guys remember the game NBA Jam? You know, he's on fire, where you just start making throws that you're like, I probably shouldn't make this throw, but I'll do it anyway, right? You know, and so you see the pump fake in cover 0 and driving that football deep. You see sprinting to the left and throwing back across his body. You see the no-lookers that we've become synonymous with a Matthew Stafford and a Patrick Mahomes. Like, you're watching, like, this guy that was super talented coming into the NFL. And what's happened in Buffalo is the general manager believed in him. And then the head coach believed in him. And then his play caller, Brian Dable, believed in him. And then his quarterback coach, Ken Dorsey, believed in him and said, okay, you got all this talent, and we're going to do everything that we can to make sure that we kind of shrink some of the things that are weaknesses, and so you can just go play. And when you play freely and confident like that, and you're as talented as Josh Allen, there is nothing on a football field that you don't think you can't do. He's been this way since week 2, folks. Someone told you in week 2 he was going to be in the MVP conversation this year. Josh Allen is deserved to be in the MVP conversation because of his play.
RC, I'm just move, please. Okay, good.
He's not frozen.
Go ahead, Ryan. Your thoughts?
Nah, man. Listen, Josh is like that, and you know. When you look at teams going into the playoffs, you start to say, okay, how do you feel about yourself? Josh Allen's kind of always felt this way about himself. Like, he always thought he could play with the Patrick Mahomeses and the Aaron Rodgers. You know who else believes it? The Buffalo Bills now. And I believe that if you secretly do a poll of GMs and head coaches and you ask them, would you trade your quarterback for Patrick Mahomes? I think 15 other teams on that side would be like, or 14 would be like, yeah, we trade our guy. You know who wouldn't? The stinking Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills have their quarterback. The city of Buffalo has their quarterback. And when you watch this dude play, when you watch him throw, the fear factor is 0. He's not scared of a dang thing. He thinks he's the best player on the field, and it's that level of cockiness, that level of confidence that's making him the player he is right now, because this dude is super talented.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.